Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. You can't turn back, you come too far, you can't give up, you work too hard. Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. You can't turn back, you come too far, you can't give up, you work too hard.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Dissertation in 90 Days. I'm thrilled to have you here with us today. My name is Dr. J, and I'm your guide on this journey through the world of academic writing and research. I'm here representing Grad Mentor Network, where we specialize in helping doctoral students navigate their dissertation journey with confidence and clarity. Today, we're diving into a topic that often feels like a monumental task for many PhD students: the art of writing a compelling literature review. Now, I know this might sound a bit daunting, but trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll have a clearer understanding and practical steps to tackle your literature review with ease. So why is a literature review so important in academic research? Think of it as the backbone of your dissertation. It's where you lay the groundwork for your entire study. A well-crafted literature review not only showcases your grasp of the existing research, but also highlights the gaps your work aims to fill. It sets the stage for your research question and helps you define your methodology. Imagine you're building a house. The literature review is like the blueprint. Without a solid plan, it's challenging to construct something that stands the test of time. In the same way, a thorough literature review provides the structure and context needed for your research to be meaningful and impactful. It helps you understand what's already out there, what has been studied, and where there might be opportunities for new insights. When done right, a literature review does more than just summarize previous studies. It connects the dots, weaving a narrative that supports your research question and methodology. It's your chance to engage with existing scholarship, critique it, and carve out a space for your unique contribution. As we go through today's episode, I'll be sharing practical tips and strategies to make your literature review not just a summary of existing work, but a compelling and integral part of your dissertation. So, let's get started on transforming this challenging task into an exciting opportunity to showcase your scholarly voice. Stay tuned. All right, let's dive into understanding the purpose of a literature review. First, what exactly is a literature review? Simply put, it's a detailed overview of the significant research that has been done on your topic. Its main purpose is to provide context and background for your own research. By reviewing existing studies, you can see what has been discovered, what gaps exist, and how your work fits into the broader academic conversation. Now, there are different types of literature reviews, each serving a unique purpose. For instance, a narrative literature review provides a comprehensive summary of the available literature on a specific topic, often organized thematically or chronologically. It's broad and can cover a wide range of issues within a topic. On the other hand, a systematic literature review is more focused and rigorous. It uses specific criteria to include and analyze studies, often aiming to answer a specific research question. This type is common in fields like medicine and psychology. Identifying the scope of your literature review is crucial. The scope determines what you will cover and what you won't. To establish your scope, start by considering the main themes and questions your research addresses. Are you focusing on a specific time period, geographic area, or a particular group of studies? Narrowing down your scope helps make your review more manageable and focused. However, if you find that your initial scope is too limited, don't hesitate to expand it slightly to include relevant studies that provide a fuller picture. Setting clear objectives for your literature review is the next step. What do you aim to achieve with this review? Perhaps you want to identify trends and patterns, highlight gaps in the existing research, or provide a new perspective on an old issue. Having well-defined objectives helps guide your review and keeps it focused. For example, a good objective might be to evaluate the impact of digital learning tools on student engagement in higher education. Another example could be to explore the relationship between work-life balance initiatives and employee productivity in multinational corporations. By understanding the purpose, defining your scope, and setting clear objectives, you lay a solid foundation for your literature review. This approach ensures that your review is not just a collection of summaries, but a cohesive, insightful examination of the existing research. Stay tuned as we move forward with more tips and strategies to help you craft a compelling literature review. Now that we've established the purpose of a literature review, let's move on to conducting effective research. This is where the real work begins, and it's essential to start with the right tools and strategies. First, identifying reliable sources and databases is crucial. You want to ensure that the information you gather is both credible and relevant. For academic research, certain databases stand out. WritersER is a fantastic resource for humanities and social sciences. If you're in the medical or health sciences field, PubMed is indispensable. And of course, Google Scholar is a versatile tool that covers a wide range of disciplines. Each of these databases provides access to peer-reviewed journals, which are a goldmine for reliable research. When it comes to searching these databases, having a strategy is key. Start with keywords related to your research topic. Think of the main concepts and terms you want to explore. For example, if you're researching digital learning tools, your keywords might include digital learning, student engagement, and higher education. To refine your search, use Boolean operators like AND, OR, and NOT. These help combine or exclude keywords, making your search results more precise. For instance, digital learning and student engagement will narrow down the results to studies that discuss both terms. Once you've gathered a list of potential sources, the next step is managing and organizing these results. This can quickly become overwhelming, so it's helpful to use a reference management tool like EndNote, Mendeley, or Zotero. These tools allow you to save, organize, and cite your sources efficiently. Create folders or tags based on themes or sections of your literature review to keep everything structured. Evaluating the relevance and credibility of your sources is another critical step. Not all sources are created equal, and it's important to distinguish the high-quality ones. Start by checking the publication date. Research evolves, and newer studies might offer the latest insights. Also, consider the author's credentials and the journal's reputation. Peer-reviewed journals are generally more reliable because they undergo a rigorous review process. It's also important to differentiate between primary and secondary sources. Primary sources are original research studies, experiments, or data directly collected by the researchers. Secondary sources, on the other hand, are interpretations, analyses, or summaries of primary sources. Both types of sources are valuable, but they serve different purposes. Primary sources provide direct evidence and data, while secondary sources offer context and interpretation. Using a mix of both can enrich your literature review, providing a well-rounded perspective. As you delve into your research, remember to stay organized and critical. Each source you choose should contribute meaningfully to your literature review, building a strong foundation for your research question and methodology. The process can be time-consuming, but it's also incredibly rewarding. You're piecing together a puzzle that will ultimately support and validate your research. Now that we've covered how to conduct effective research, let's talk about structuring your literature review. This step is all about organizing your content in a way that makes sense and supports your research objectives. First, let's look at different ways to structure a literature review. One common approach is chronological. This means organizing your sources by the order in which they were published. This can help show the development of a particular field or topic over time. Another way is thematic. This involves grouping your sources by themes or topics. It's useful when different studies address various aspects of your research question. Lastly, there's the methodological approach. Here, you organize your review based on the methods used in the studies you're discussing. This can highlight different ways researchers have approached similar questions. Choosing the right structure depends on your research and what you want to emphasize. If you're exploring how a concept has evolved, a chronological structure might be best. If your research involves multiple themes, a thematic structure can help keep things organized. And if you're comparing different research methods, a methodological approach will make that comparison clearer. Once you've decided on the structure, the next step is creating an outline. Start by listing the main sections of your literature review. These might include an introduction, the main body where you discuss your sources, and a conclusion. Break down each section into subsections based on the structure you've chosen. For example, if you're using a thematic structure, your main body might have subsections for each theme. Having a clear outline before you start writing is crucial. It serves as a roadmap, guiding you through the writing process and ensuring you stay on track. It also helps you see the big picture and how different parts of your review connect to each other. Speaking of connections, let's talk about how to synthesize information from various sources. Synthesizing means combining ideas from different sources to create a cohesive narrative. It's not just about summarizing each source, but about integrating them to support your argument. Look for common themes, patterns, or gaps in the research. Use these connections to build your narrative. Transitions are key to making these connections clear. Smooth transitions help your readers follow your argument and see how different studies relate to each other. Use transitional phrases like similarly, in contrast, or furthermore to link ideas and guide your readers through your review. In summary, structuring your literature review involves choosing the right organization method, creating a detailed outline, and synthesizing information from various sources. This structure will help you build a strong, coherent narrative that supports your research. Now that we've laid the groundwork for structuring your literature review, let's dive into some writing tips and best practices. This segment is all about making your writing clear, engaging, and academically rigorous. First and foremost, clarity, coherence, and conciseness are the pillars of good academic writing. Your literature review should be easy to follow, with each part logically flowing into the next. Avoid jargon and overly complex sentences. Instead, aim for simplicity and precision. Remember, your goal is to communicate your ideas effectively, not to impress with complicated language. Being clear and concise doesn't mean being dull. Engaging writing can still be straightforward. Maintaining an academic tone while keeping your writing engaging can be a bit of a balancing act. You want to be professional and objective, but also lively enough to hold your reader's interest. One way to do this is to vary your sentence structure. Mix short, punchy sentences with longer, more detailed ones. This creates a natural rhythm that keeps the reader engaged. Also, don't shy away from expressing your analysis and interpretation. Your voice should come through as you critique and synthesize the literature. Now let's talk about some common pitfalls to avoid in your literature review. One major mistake is merely summarizing each source without any critical analysis. Your review should not be a simple list of studies. Instead, it should evaluate and interpret the research, showing how each piece fits into the broader picture. Another pitfall is losing focus. Stay aligned with your research objectives and avoid getting sidetracked by interesting but irrelevant details. Critical analysis is key. Look at the strengths and weaknesses of each study. Consider the methodologies used, the validity of the findings, and the significance of the results. This depth of analysis will add richness to your review and demonstrate your understanding of the field. Proper citation is crucial in academic writing. It not only gives credit to the original authors, but also strengthens your own credibility. Make sure you follow the citation style required by your discipline, whether it's APA, MLA, Chicago, or another format. Consistency is important, so double-check your references. Using tools and software can make citation management much easier. Programs like EndNote, Zotero, and Mendeley help you organize your references and format your citations correctly. These tools can save you a lot of time and help ensure accuracy. To sum up, effective writing in a literature review involves clarity, coherence, and conciseness. Avoid common pitfalls by focusing on critical analysis rather than mere summarization. And always pay attention to proper citation practices. These strategies will help you craft a literature review that is both academically rigorous and engaging to read. We've covered a lot today, so let's take a moment to recap the key points. We've explored the purpose of a literature review, discussing how it sets the stage for your research by providing context and highlighting gaps. We talked about how to conduct effective research using reliable databases and organizing your findings. We then moved on to structuring your literature review, choosing the best approach to present your information clearly and logically. Finally, we shared writing tips and best practices to help you maintain clarity, coherence, and engagement in your academic writing. A well-written literature review is crucial. It's the backbone of your dissertation, grounding your research in existing knowledge, and demonstrating your understanding of the field. By following the steps we've discussed, you can create a literature review that not only summarizes previous work, but also provides critical insights and establishes the foundation for your own research. Now, let's talk about some practical steps you can take to start or improve your literature review. First, revisit the purpose and scope of your review. Make sure you're clear on what you want to achieve and which areas you need to cover. Next, dive into your research with a strategy. Use keywords and Boolean operators to find relevant studies, and keep your findings organized with a reference management tool. When structuring your review, choose a method that fits your research objectives, whether it's chronological, thematic, or methodological. Create a detailed outline to guide your writing. As you write, focus on clarity and critical analysis. Don't just summarize, synthesize, and evaluate the research. And remember to cite your sources properly. I encourage you to implement these tips and start making progress on your literature review. It might seem overwhelming at first, but breaking it down into manageable steps can make the process much smoother. Take it one section at a time, and soon you'll have a comprehensive and compelling literature review. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you faced challenges in writing your literature review? What strategies have worked for you? Share your insights with us, and let's learn from each other. Be sure to tune in to our next episode, where we'll dive into more strategies for successful dissertation writing. And don't forget to check out the resources and events we have coming up at Grad Mentor Network. We're here to support you every step of the way. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found these tips helpful and feel more confident in tackling your literature review. Until next time, keep pushing forward, and remember, you've got this.